Everybody good? All right, folks, thank you all for coming out on this great afternoon. We'll get this started. We do have a quorum. All members are present. If you stand and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
More, the power heads. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for Amelia. Thank you for all who are part of Team Amelia, no matter how small the part. Thank you for protecting us through yet another storm that swept across the nation a couple weeks ago, and really left up those who are affected in a negative way by it. Thank you for this beautiful weather and all the beauty and excitement and energy that comes with spring. We get to watch what was dead come alive, just like what you did for us over 2,000 years ago. We thank you for your willingness to send your son to suffer and die on the cross for our sins and rise again on the third day, but just because of your love for us. I pray that people understand and acknowledge your sacrifice for us, especially for the coming weeks as we celebrate Easter. Lord, I lift up this meeting tonight. I pray for cool heads, great positive discussion as we tend to business for this community. Help us to make the best and wisest decisions for this county, even if it's not the most popular at this time. Lord, thank you for everyone who came out tonight. I ask for traveling mercies as we leave here at the end, and ask for your watch, care, and protection over us until we meet again. I ask this in all your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Morris. All right. Excuse me. How about any amendments to the agenda that's been presented, folks?
The closed session
Okay.
for legal counsel in the library and the LAC.
Mr. Morris is requesting a closed session for some legal counsel. Have a last minute. Also want to add the torch discussion. We have the final contract in front of us or permit in front of us. We'll have a discussion on that. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Mess me up.
Oh, sorry.
All right, the motion on the floor to approve the agenda as amended with the torch discussion and a closed session. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, that brings us to the consent agenda. We have two event permits and minutes from February's meeting. I think it was one sentence you wanted to strike, Mr. Morris.
There's a line I wanted to strike about, I think it's, can we read it or?
Yes.
As after further discussion, the board decided to move the committee appointments to February meeting. Staff was directed to collect information and deliver. I think that was supposed to be in the January meeting.
Okay.
So I want to strike that.
Did you get that, Eric?
Unless I misunderstood it. Or fix it or whatever needs to be done.
I think it just probably meant to move to the next meeting.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be in this meeting, the March meeting?
Yes, if we were at the February meeting.
Okay.
And it's on the agenda, and I think we have it on the agenda.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess strike out February and put March then.
Okay. We'll take care of that. Did you have something, Mr. Steve?
Yeah, since I'm the one that submitted the May Day Festival, I don't want to vote on that. So if we could just do a separate vote for A and B, and then I want to still abstain from C.
Okay.
I move to accept the consent agenda with the amendments and subtraction of the May Day Festival.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. There's a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda items A and B. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All right, I need a second motion to approve on the consent agenda item C.
So moved.
Motion on the floor to approve item C, the Amelia Day Festival. Mr. Easter abstained from that. All in favor, raise your hand.
I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Come on.
Can you look into making sure that all the existing businesses have open access? I know y'all fixed some of it, but there are some that may be blocked off that are around the square. I mean, I don't know if since they're there year round, it seems like maybe they should be able to have access, but that's not.
They all have access because we don't take up the sidewalk.
Yeah, but okay, but I just know sometimes it's hard to get to some of them.
Yeah, any that have discussed with us
Okay.
have been adjusted.
Cool, thank you.
All right. This day of recognition, public comment. Anybody wishing to speak about anything that's not on the agenda, please come up, state your name and address. Try to keep it to 3 minutes or so.
3 minutes. All right. Martin Conkle, 16211 Church Street. So just as we kind of kick off the budget meeting, I want to put a few things out there. You know, one is maybe a reflection upon yourselves on what do you feel like what is the role of government to you? And do you hold the same standard as you do on the local level, which you have control over, as you do the state and federal level? Do the same rules in your mind apply directly down? And what are the wants and the needs? What do we feel like are absolute needs of the citizens of this county? What do we feel like are wants? And here's a great example for myself, right? I like to mountain bike. It's inconvenient for me to drive to Pocahontas State Park or Richmond to go mountain biking, right? I would love for you guys to build a mountain bike park here in my own backyard for me to use. And I'd love for the other taxpayers in this county to pay for that. But I think that'd be very selfish of me to say so, right? If I wanted something like that, I should put in my own effort to fundraise, donate, volunteer my time to make such happen. I think that's what you do because that is not a obvious need of the citizens of this county. It would be something that I would want. And we see that various sports fields, recreational spaces, stuff like that. They're all very nice, but they're not a need. They're a want, and they're nice to have. But I don't think everybody should be put on the hook to pay for those wants of certain people. So I ask one thing, if y'all could please consider this deeply and make it happen. I think it's very simple. It's a very simple thing. It's places like the state of Massachusetts has done on their tax forms. They have a line when you go make your payment, and it asks you, as a little box, would you like to donate more to your government? Because the tax rates you set, as a reminder to everybody out here listening, is just a minimum. You can always give more. And I meet people out here in various discussions and stuff that say, I don't mind paying more taxes to have nicer schools and nicer things. And at any time they could write a check. But I ask you, the Board of Supervisors, to please consider putting on the next tax forms that go out to the citizens of this county to put a little box that asks the people, these people that want more, that don't mind paying more, make it easy for them to give more, to fund the things that they want, but not necessarily put everybody else on the hook for. So if we can just consider that, and I think it'll be a great way to see if people around here will really put the proverbial, their money where their mouth is. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Anybody else? All right, I'll close public comment time. Bring us to VDOT. Welcome back, Ms. Worley.
Thank you. Appreciate it. To provide an update on our area headquarters monthly activities, it's pretty short and sweet. They've been focused on asphalt repairs this month. Lots of pothole patching and smear patching with asphalt to address some of the issues we've had following the winter weather out there. Additionally, they've been working on all the gravel roads throughout the county, applying rock and grading those. I did want to draw attention to the monthly report where it discusses Route 681. We have a shoulder repair that we're planning in the 10,900 block of Clementown Road, which will require a detour. We're currently thinking that work is going to occur in May. So we'll advertise the detour, put out a press release about it, make sure the news is aware. But wanted to give you all a heads up that we're in the planning phases of that work. From a construction standpoint, surface treatment operations, all of our surface treatment contracts have been awarded to the contractor, and they do not anticipate starting work in Amelia County until September, so much later this season. And then Obslow Lane, VDOT crews anticipate beginning our work on that hard surfacing in June of this season, which you all funded through your secondary 6-year plan last year. And those are the only items that I have to report unless there are questions.
I've got one thing.
Yes, sir.
You need to cut the bushes back on 616. It'd be probably within a mile west of the Sugar Pond curve.
Okay.
It's a lot of truck traffic up through there now, and then when you get over to meet them,
Okay.
it's slapping your mirrors.
Yeah, I know they had been doing right arm mowing on 616 and pulled off for some of the asphalt repairs, but I'll talk to them about that particular spot.
You have something, Lucky?
No, I'll just listening to you.
All right, anybody got anything else? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Brings us to the school. Hello, Dr. Harper.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Pollitt. Our February ADM was 1485.2. At the end of February, K-12 enrollment was 1469, and pre-K-12 enrollment was 1535. At the March school board meeting, the board was recognized by each of our schools. The board also heard information about the Project Adam Safe Heart School Program from Ms. Brown, division nurse, and the board approved the FY27 budget for Amelia County Public Schools. Speaking of the school budget, at the budget work session, members of the board asked questions about student enrollment and enrollment trends, as well as our transportation fleet. At that time, I mentioned the UVA's Weldon Cooper Center for Public Service. This evening, I provided for Mr. Pollitt and yourselves with copies of the March 18th, so hot off the press, 2026 Virginia School Enrollment Projections for 2026 to 2030 from the Weldon Cooper Center for Public Service. In addition, I provided copies of our existing transportation fleet spreadsheet, as well as a summary provided by Mr. Lynch, Director of Operations. His summary clearly outlines the need to purchase 2 to 3 buses per year to meet the 15-year requirement in the guidelines. He is available to speak with you if you have questions. And some of you may remember several years ago, we were trying to pay off some of those bus leases. Okay, well, if we don't keep up with 2 to 3 buses per year in 2029 and 2030, we're going to hit kind of a cliff based on buses that were purchased many years ago. So anyway, the data and information is there for you, and we're happy to answer any of your questions on that. This evening, I'm also sharing with you the finance reports for February FY26. To be meeting our goals, operating expenditures should be around 59.93%, and we are below that at 57.48%. The textbook fund expenditures are at 31.21%. In funds 4 and 5 for all-in and construction, we have expenditures at the appropriated funds of 42.71% and 0.25% respectively. In the cafeteria fund, expenditures are at 31.59%. Any questions at this point before I move forward to the state carryover?
No, ma'am, go right ahead.
Okay. The second item on your agenda is related to that state carryover funds appropriation. The third item is as well. It is actually just part of the additional documentation provided on the calc tool from the state. So on March 9th, the school board approved the appropriation of $476,117 to carry forward state funds from FY '25 to FY '26. The corresponding action for this appropriation was already approved by the Board of Supervisors in the August resolution included in the supporting documents provided in your packet. Also in your packet is the methodology used to determine this total for your awareness. The methodology applied was reviewed and approved by county finance staff and ensures three things. It ensures that the required local effort and required local match requirements are met with county funds to ensure compliance with state requirements and SOQ incentive programs. It also ensures that no more than Amelia's year-end required local match and required local effort was expended from the county's general funds. And third, that unexpended state funds for education are reappropriated to Amelia County Public Schools for appropriate expenditures for school board priorities. So obviously no local match is required for the carry forward appropriation. It was already approved by the board, but we're bringing it forward to you for informational purposes at this time since the audit has already been completed.
Okay. Board, have any questions? What's the board's pleasure? Did your budget come down $400,000?
No,
Use that
sir.
money
These,
for last-
these are the remaining state funds from FY '25. You have a copy of the resolution that was approved back in August. We are just basically coming forward and requesting the transfer of those funds.
Okay, it doesn't need an action, does it? 'Cause we've already
Do
taken.
not need an action except on the part of county staff.
Yeah, there's no action listed on the agenda.
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening.
We have any staff reports? Amelia Garden Club?
Hello. So I think you have the presentation in your packet. So we are the Working Ladies Garden Club, not the sanctioned Amelia Garden Club. Just wanted to make sure we were all clear on that. Our garden club is focused on doing community projects. We've done quite a few, the Christmas tree and
I'm sorry, I'm new to the community. Can you explain what the difference is between the two?
so we are not sanctioned. We're a group of working ladies with children that get together once a month. And we might do a project and we might have a speaker or we might not. They're a little more organized than we are.
And the sanctioning is not by Amelia or something, it's sanctioned by like the National Garden Club groups. Yeah, just to clarify the sanction, yeah.
Thank you. There's a few of us groups, but we are not sanctioned.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't know what the difference was, so appreciate you sharing that.
Yes, and I wanted to make sure that I was not claiming to be that group here. So but I think you have the presentation. So we are community minded and we are focused on doing community projects. We've done the Christmas tree and the town square that has needed some love and care through the years. We did the love sign behind the historical library back there. And after the love sign, we took a little break because that was a large project. We're a small group, maybe a group of 15 ladies, some with kids still at home and some not. So we had the idea of this, it's called the Little Free Library. And that's the one we picked. It's a little bit bigger. We would purchase the library. We are going to cover the cost of all the materials. We're going to assemble that library. And you can order the post from them also. And it offers like a little step in front of it too. We're going to cover all of those costs. We think it's going to be about $500. And basically it's like you see in front of the Presbyterian, it's like a food box. You give, you take. It's for adults, it's for children. It will be chartered, so the name tag on the front, we will register it. There's one in Amelia right now that's in a neighborhood, but we would like to put it in a more central location so that hopefully more people can utilize it. A lot of us that are in the garden club are avid readers. And you just give a book, take a book, and the kids can do the same. And we wanted to pick one that was larger. They have smaller ones, but it was our choice to kind of pick a larger. It's going to be around $500. What we're coming to you tonight for is to ask for a location. We would love to put it by the love sign. However, I don't know that that is realistic because we want it to be easily accessible and in a safe location and out in the broad opened. We haven't had any trouble with the love sign, and I think it's because of where it's positioned and located. So we were coming tonight if the county could put it in, install it, and offer a place for us to locate it. We were thinking in front of like Parks and Rec. There's a lot of traffic there. Just somewhere that it's visible and easily accessible. It's not going to be easily accessible by the love sign. We would love to have it there, but I don't think that's realistic. If you have other ideas that of where we could put this, locate it, yes.
First.
Well, first of all, I happened to be walking this weekend with some friends in Clarksville, and we passed one like this. And it's in such use in Clarksville that they've had to install a large box beside it for overflow books.
Oh,
They're
wow.
getting so much use. So it's interesting to see that. And then knowing from the agenda y'all were on our agenda today. When you said safe location, the first one that came to my mind is the corner across from the sheriff's office, like in the corner of the circuit court clerks. The reason is because that's under camera visibility.
Thank you, sir.
And that's where the sheriff's office is promoting as the safe drop. What are they? Safe exchange location. So just another possible option to consider.
I think we would be open to any suggestions that you have like that. We want it to be in a safe place.
And a lot
And
of walkers, a lot of people walk
yes,
the courthouse square, so I think you would get visibility because it's.
yes. And we don't want people to have to park like at the love sign. We don't want people parking on the edge of the road and then walking there. We want it to be safe.
Well, right, you get parking on the street, but you also have a parking lot there.
Yes.
Too. And again, anyway,
That's a good idea.
It's just an idea.
And wherever we are willing to fund it. I just need help. We need help installing it. And if you have a place for us to put it, we will maintain it. So say it needs to be, it's supposed to be made of that composite material that, is supposed to be good outside, all the things. We will maintain it if it gets ragged and that kind of thing. We're not asking the county for money. This is like our community project this year.
I wrote down 4 places. I don't know if you wanted it on 360 now. I thought like Journey, Company 1 or Company 3, Firehouse, or that Mexican restaurant on 360. That's got a big pull off. I don't know if you want it on 360.
We were thinking about more in town. I like Joseph's suggestion. If it's on camera, we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had any problem with the love sign. And we put lights out there that are not installed in any manner, and we haven't had any. I'm unaware of any problems there. I do like that idea, and you do have a lot of walkers. We were thinking of maybe something more, in town where it would get a lot of traffic.
But if we're just supportive, we could have Eric and Daryl work with you.
Yes,
on
and I'm fine with that.
That's all. We don't necessarily need to decide on like firm a location. We could just, if we're supportive as a board, then just pass along our support to them with it.
Yes, and that is completely fine. That's what we kind of did with the love sign. I met with Daryl and Taylor at the time, and decided on the angle and where we're going to put it. And if that is, if you're giving your blessing, I'm happy to do that moving
Yeah,
forward.
I'm fine
The
with that.
same way Crystal did with the courthouse lights
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff too.
I think that's the best spot. That's what I was thinking.
I'm done with support.
I'm good with it.
Do we need, since it's county property, we need a vote probably for affirming, Jeff, or you just
Give me a consensus.
Just-
Everybody,
support it?
everybody support it? Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Thank you. We'd like to install it by Amelia Day to have like a, but we'll see. We'll report back on that. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Finance reports. Do we have any type of extra stuff?
Paul will not be available tonight. She's out at a conference.
Okay. So we have what we have in the book. Any questions? Comments? Keep on going?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have any appropriations? No informal appropriation?
So,
What's going on?
What's wrong? Unusual.
Let me catch up here.
It's something about springtime.
Am I in the right room?
Any monthly reports? Nope. Environmental reports? Got the DMV reports? Sidewalk project.
There you go.
Is that you, Eric?
Yeah, I can speak to this. So this was brought up back in the fall. VDOT come back to us and said that the project was going to cost more than what they originally anticipated back in whenever this project started originally for the second phase. Y'all wanted to have the public hearing that VDOT holds. And so we got feedback from VDOT and we had a few board members attend and there was no opposition to it. Very few residents turn out to even attend the public hearing. And so we've been waiting on a final number from VDOT as far as the cost for this. And so the first phase, like that's mentioned staff report, is budgeted in this year's CIP fund. And then next year, we've got in my recommended budget, the remaining funds, and y'all will see that it's been provided to the planning commission. I forwarded y'all to the recommended CIP. So it's in the budget, it's planned for. At this point, looking for authority to execute the contract and other documents associated with the project, since I've not been here since the beginning of the project.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
I just want to say, sorry. I was trying to get the word chairman. I'm sorry. I just want to say that I've seen a lot of people really excited about the existing phase of the sidewalk project. And this weekend was a really good example of having the tractor parade, which I'm sure we'll talk about when we get to comments about what a great opportunity that was. And it was nice because with it coming down through that section, you got to see more people sitting along the sidewalk section and walking through there. And I think, you know, as we get so many more events, which we've talked about, we see more and more, it's nice to have that usage through there too. So, yeah, I think we're already seeing benefits pay off in that first phase. I hope we can move forward with this next phase. So.
Okay. I'm having a hard time finding the action.
I got it.
Has anybody got that? Got it?
I got it. If you
Somebody make a motion.
sure. I'll move that the Board of Supervisors authorize the county administrator to execute the VDOT Appendix A agreement for the Route 38 Five Forks Road Sidewalk Project UPC 125357 as presented, and further authorize the county administrator to execute all associated and future documents necessary to advance this project. I don't get time.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's just informational for you guys to know.
Did it?
Yes.
All right. Gentlemen's motion on the floor to move forward with the phases of the sidewalk project per the motion. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries.
I can't change my vote from last time we voted on this. That's why I did it. I'm
Okay.
not gonna switch.
Yeah, can't flip flop.
I mean, yeah, I'm just giving you an explanation.
Okay. All right, committed discussions. That is on there. All I know, I heard it was some,
That's
it was some,
yes, we moved fast getting down to there. Yes, sorry, that's me. Right, when we didn't have all these appropriations and all, we landed there really.
I know,
quick.
we're gonna have another meeting after this meeting. So we-
The real meetings after this.
We better be missing some.
Yeah, so last month we had some preliminary discussions about questions that have come up regarding the board of supervisors, committees, et cetera. And after that discussion, we agreed, and that was just the comment that Benji was referring to.
Okay,
getting
that's what it
corrected.
was.
Yep,
Gotcha.
referring to and getting corrected in the minutes there earlier. So I have been going through since last month, all of the existing committees that we're assigned to and researching and getting clarity of what's our position in those. I would still say committees in general, but they're not all committees. It's part of the problem. So I've gone through each one. We had quite a few where the name wasn't consistent with like what it is. So for example,
What are you working
South-
off? Are you working off something similar to that?
Yep, working off a new version of that document there, the spreadsheet that the spreadsheet that Eric provided. Yep, just doing an updated version of that. So just getting like where Benji mentioned the library earlier, just said where it said library board, just making it their official name, board of trustees, so it tracks back to other documents. And then adding a column in there, are we an actual member of whatever that committee is? Are we a representative from the board to them? That kind of thing. And trying, because the county staffs had a lot of difficulty, if you recall, trying to find out more information about some of these. So I've added a space for the website that goes take them so they can find exactly the information on that organization. And then several of us have talked about, how many of these are we required to be on or not? And there's several that we are not required to be on. I'm trying to go through and update that. Where necessary, I've talked to Jeff on one or two of them already. He's helped with them. I've got a couple other ones that need to pend for him, and I just haven't had time to get with Jeff. It's not Jeff's fault at all. But for example, it's like if we were looking at and again, we haven't worked on all these with Jeff, so this isn't a final answer. I'm just going through the documents that I can find on these. It's like the Piedmont Court Services. I can't find anything that says it has to be a supervisor. It just says that it just needs to be someone designated by the county. So I think we need to go through and understand where do we have the flexibility to move it from someone other than us. And then we may still choose to keep it as a supervisor, but we need to be aware where do we have those options. Todd and I talked about another example on here the other day. So the one that had been labeled the Workforce Development Board, well, it was named something different, but we got it updated to South Central Workforce Development Board. That's a business representative. So Todd is the member of that, but he's not on there as a Board of Supervisors member. He's there as a business leader in the county. So that one, for example, needs to come off our list altogether. He's been appointed by the board even before you won the Board of Supervisors, even, wasn't it?
No, this is
Okay,
new.
I've lost track
And
of it.
see,
Yeah.
originally I was appointed from the board to serve it there. But then it's kind of turned into what it is, and it was a whole mess when they did
Yeah.
it.
So
So
we're
it
trying
needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, so we're trying to get all that cleaned up. My goal was I would have it all cleaned up tonight's meeting. It's not. I think that's fine. So that's an update on where we're working toward getting it cleaned up. The other thing that I'm running into is I've emailed out to several of you all in the past month the document that we used to work from. Ashley was probably the most recent one that provided it. It had this emailed to you all, but had this cover page. It's how many pages? It's 57 pages, listed all the committees throughout the county and their origin, et cetera. There are a lot of committees or appointments in there that we're not tracking at all anymore. So, we have that short version of committees. So I want to go back to work through that document and track and get a comprehensive tracking of those. I think part of the problem with this format from before, though, was, like I said, it's 57 pages. And the current appointments were embedded within that. So you had, and so to work through the combined descriptions and the current appointments was kind of challenging. So I'd like to take that document and strip out the current people's names and leave it as a document that doesn't change very often. That just says, this is what the committee is, who appoints, its authority, etc. And then have a separate one, just like Eric's been maintaining, about who's appointed, etc. But we encompass that to everything and make them reconciled with names, etc.
Are you looking at term limits too?
If they have term limits, most of them don't have term limits.
Okay.
Most things don't have term limits. Like library board doesn't have terms, that's what I'm talking about.
SR does. So. the
There are
one-
there are terms.
Terms, right,
Yeah.
different thing, yes, there are terms and then
Yeah.
term limits and but.
No, there's limits on PSR.
Oh, he-
Some have term limits,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
but all
didn't have
they,
term-
he didn't say
yeah.
but they all have terms.
Yeah.
So then they expire, then the question is, do we know they've expired and filling them? Like it fill them, that's
Yeah,
part
we
of
do
it.
have limits on PSR, but
Yeah.
Some do.
Dave and I talked before that it seems like to me, the chair of these committees should keep up
Yes.
with their people that's on their committee or on their board when they start, when they go off, how long they've been here. It was like PSRs, I mean, it was a disaster. I mean, nobody knew this, they didn't know that. And
Well, I
to me,
think,
it should be the chair's responsibility.
it ought to be the chair's responsibility in that case. That's not a county committee. I
No,
think the board, whoever represents us on that, needs to come back and be in communication with the chair.
yeah,
I don't think we have the authority to tell that chair how to do his
It
stuff.
would be their staff that tracks, that would be the director.
Yeah, I think that's the problem because the chairs rotate so often, they don't
Yeah.
keep up with
If
it.
it's an entity that has professional staff, they should track the appointments. They don't all have that.
some of them don't do it though. That's the problem.
But it's just like that.
And then they end up non-compliant, then it's on them for being non-compliant though, the agency is. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update, see if anyone had any different thoughts, concerns, etc. And I'm not Eric, I clarified this in the email, I'm not asking Eric and his staff to do anything with it at this point, other than I'm sure a random question here and there. Because they're short-staffed at the moment. Therefore, it'll take a little bit of time to get it through, but that's the direction I'm trying to go.
Are you gonna have something next month?
Well, I have versions you can look at anytime. Like I said, I already reviewed with Todd because he had a number of them on there. Reviewed with Todd. I can send you all out the current version.
Just send us something out prior to, if you gonna have changes next month, well, send that and then.
Yeah.
Send us the changes next month.
How many committees you say it was? Like 50?
No, it's
Pages.
57
That was paid.
Okay.
Yeah, 57-page document, but it's not that many committee. I mean, it's still 30 or it's still 30 or more. Yeah, but I mean, that's the problem. A lot of them don't meet often, or they're like single appointed, like we just did, John Tyler Bright Point, things like that. We just don't keep up with some of that stuff very often.
Well, we appreciate you looking into that.
Yeah.
That's wrong. I think we all need the clarity at some point here, so. That's all. So no action for tonight.
All right, I'll piggyback on that committee discussion. I'm in talks with the chairs of these committees, and I'm not saying the PSR and all that, the local committees that we appoint our residents to. We're gonna have a couple replacements or reappointments coming up in June. I should have a list in April, and we'll talk about it then, and then you have April to May to come up with a replacement or talk to the people or whatever. And we'll do the appointments in May, so they'll be ready for July. Everybody good with that?
And while we're talking about that, one thing that Joseph and I talked about too was when looking back through the records, some of these, it's a combination of district appointments and then also at large.
Yeah.
And so I think that'd be a good time for us to come to determination of how those other ones that just not identified in the current committee selection, getting that cleaned up.
I agree with that too.
Okay. All right. Moving along. Got a rezoning and a public hearing. Mr. Austin, no.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is a request for a conditional rezoning from RR3 to R3. The parcel is tax map 40-71A. It's on Robertson Road. It's 79.12 acres. This would create 3 new parcels intended for single-family homes constructed as primary residences. The applicant is the contract purchaser of the property. Does not want to wait 5 years that would be required for a family division without rezoning the property. The application does include the existing plat of the property and a draft of the proposed subdivision. The parcels would meet the frontage requirements of the R3 district. In your packet are the zoning requirements for the R3 district and relevant comprehensive plan sections. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning request by a vote of 9-1. After the Planning Commission meeting, the applicant did come back and submitted the following proffers. That the subject property consisting of the 79.12 acres shall be limited to a maximum of 3 newly created residential parcels and the remaining acreage, and that no further subdivision of the 3 residential parcels or the remaining acreage shall be permitted, provided, however, that this restriction shall not prohibit future divisions explicitly authorized under the Amelia County Ordinance for Family Divisions, which is section 314-6.5. So as I said, the Planning Commission did recommend approval. And then the staff recommendation would also be for approval. There is an existing subdivision of 8 parcels adjacent to this parcel with similar lot sizes to those proposed with this rezoning request. And again, the proffers were submitted. So based on that, the nature of the surrounding area and the uses allowed in the R3 zoning district being similar to those in the RR3 zoning district, staff also recommends approval of the request. And then the draft actions are in your packet as well. I can
Okay.
answer any questions.
How long have they owned the property? That it has, didn't want to wait 5 years? How long have they owned?
They are contract purchasers. They are in
Oh,
the
they haven't
process
bought
of
it yet.
purchasing the property.
Any questions before I open the public hearing? Hearing none. All right, I'll open the public hearing on this rezoning request. Everybody's heard the information on it. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this, please come up and state your name and address. Try to keep it to 3 minutes.
Hi, folks. I'm Todd Copeland. I live at 15412 Feather Chase Drive in Chesterfield, Virginia. And I am the applicant. I'll try and keep it short. I grew up in Smith County, a little town called Marion. It's about population 5,000. My wife grew up in Louisa County. Similar situation, very rural. And I've had to live, closer to the city because that's where the jobs were. Saved up some money, reached the point in my life, raised my kids. I'm trying to find a place I want to live, grow some crops, raise some chickens, that kind of thing. And Amelia sure looks like home to me. Now the challenge is my grown daughters, they're both married. They said, well, if you buy a farm out there, we want to come live with you. And I found out, being naive, that that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So we found these 79 acres. I'd like to buy them. And I'd like to have I'm actually very proud that my kids actually want to be close to me, and I've got 2 granddaughters. They are 8 and 4. And I can't imagine anything better than one of them being able to just walk out, come down the road and visit their Mimi. So that's what I'm up to. There was some discussion in the meeting before this about, the rules and everything, and I realized that I needed to put the proffer in place for it to be clear what my intentions were. So I'm going to sit down. If y'all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All right, I'll close the public hearing. Questions from board members?
Is this a subdivision? What exactly is this?
This is property being subdivided.
Okay, but in order to subdivide, it has to be a subdivision. A named subdivision.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
Cause I have a piece that was subdivided.
Dividing property by definition is a subdivision. It's dividing property. You're thinking of neighborhoods.
No, I have a piece that was cut off that is a named subdivision
Okay.
for one lot. In Amelia. That's just what I was trying to ask. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, this goes back to the family split. Or are we trying to do the family split, or are we doing a subdivision?
Dividing the
Of
property,
land.
rezoning it so it by right could be divided into 3 parcels versus waiting 5 years to do the family division. Is that right? That's the simple.
Yeah.
Request. Dividing this 80-acre parcel
Yep.
into 3 parcels, which under the proposed zoning classification can be done by right. If you rezone it now, that classification. If you don't do that, the owner can still do it under the family division, but there's a 5-year ownership
Yeah.
period.
So the question would be, are we trying to skirt the 5-year period? That's where I'm hung up at.
I mean, the effect is to rezone it to a different class of property that you can subdivide to 20-acre lots or whatever they are, 20+ acre lots.
Yeah.
That's what you would be doing.
Exactly.
We have a zoning ordinance that says must own the property for 5 years with the family split. If we don't follow what the ordinances are, why have them? Just let everybody come in and do what they want. But we have rules to go by. They can come in after 5 years and split it. No questions asked on that.
That's why I was asking, because
No questions asked on that. But right now, we're opening a door to have a flood come in and start saying, what about us? What
Okay.
about us?
that's why I was asking what I'm asking. If you do
Well,
it
it's
for
limited to
one,
3 parcels. It
if
couldn't
you-
be further divided, except for, I defer to Austin's point me, but
That was gonna be my question. In the if you waited 5 years, how many could he divide it into?
as many kids as he's got.
Yeah, if he waited 5 years, he could divide as many kids into as many 2-acre lots as he wanted to, as many family members
Yeah.
as were.
I know. See, and that's my thing. I worry about the precedent too, Dexter. I have a huge issue with that. I want to be really clear. At the same time, I kind of like the idea of locking it in to say it's gonna be 3 20-acre lots versus. I'll go with the term definition because I agree. The word subdivision gets misunderstood. But I like that better than a whole bunch of 22-acre lots, in 5 years' time from now. Not that that's your intent, but to say that's a possibility. I have a problem with precedent though.
That's what
We-
scares me.
We did this
Believe me,
order.
I would love to have you here. Personal, I mean, I'm right there with you because I think it's important to have your family with you. But what makes it so hard for me right now is we just changed the ordinance. Not 6 months ago to stop this because everybody was abusing it. And what they were doing is coming in, buying a piece of the land, cutting it up, saying they give it to their children, and then selling lots.
yes, sir.
And that's what we were having a problem with. They did it down the road from my house years ago, but that's where my problem is. Cause then if we do it now, then the next one comes in. Well, you did it for this guy.
So you
That's up to him. He controls that.
Say what?
Can he respond?
I'm gonna listen to
I
Austin.
might be able to offer some clarity. So notice that staff recommended approval of this request. And the reasoning behind that is that the location of this property there's a comprehensive plan amendment coming forward.
Yeah,
This property is located in a development area,
but we don't have that yet.
but this property is directly across the road from an industrial zone
Mhm.
property. It's directly adjacent to subdivisions of 3-acre lots that currently exist today. So the logic is that this location is a location that could be supported for a subdivision of 3-acre lots. That's the logic behind staff recommending approval of the request. That's the logic there.
In other words, so this whole background about family did not have to be part of the application, right?
Right.
It's just simply saying, I want to change my zoning,
Yeah.
right? And if you want to change the zoning to something that fits the surrounding property, that's what you look at.
That's what I
right?
was trying
And
to
if it
get
fits
to.
the surrounding property, as staff has determined it does, that's why the staff recommendation is approval, because when each zoning stands on its own, there's no precedent, right? Legal precedent isn't created because each application stands on its own, and you look at the surrounding property and whether it complies with the comp plan and its impact on the surrounding property, right? So notwithstanding about the intended use, if normally you don't know the intended use.
Exactly.
Normally it's, I just want to change my zoning from R3 to R3 or whatever. You know,
But see, it
then
was
it's looked at-
explained, it was explained originally to,
Right.
because they couldn't do that.
Right,
And
that's
that's
how
where
they
my
got
whole,
to that.
yeah, that's why I was trying to clarify, are we doing a subdivision or, are we trying to skirt the family division? That's where my holdup is on the family division, because if you allow it once, then you've got somebody else coming behind you, go ask for it again. Well, you did it for Billy Bob and you won't do it for me. So that's
you
why I
would
was
look at
trying to
that
get
application,
clarification.
whether it
To
makes sense
me,
in that
we should be
application.
looking at, all we want to do is change zoning to this piece of land, just like what they were trying to do with Amelia Avenue with H.H. Hunt. Or whether you did.
Your point, I want to make sure I understand your point, Jeff. Then your point is you're not setting a precedent at all, because you're looking like we have at any time. You're just looking at the surrounding zonings. You're saying this is extremely consistent. The change.
Yeah, the staff is saying,
surrounding zoning. Well, you're great. Okay, let me
Yeah.
say, you're confirming that logic.
Yeah.
Let me say it that way.
Correct.
You're confirming that logic that it's extremely consistent with surrounding zonings. Someone else could come in and ask the same exact thing, and we go, well, no,
In a
because
different spot.
because you're in a different spot, you're not consistent. You just want to get around the 5-year thing.
So we need to change the zoning.
Which
In
is
a
what they're-
nutshell.
Yeah, that's
Which
what
is
they're
what they're-
asking.
which
See,
is-
we should have never dealt with it because they couldn't do the family division.
Because
That should have
that-
never been entered into this deal, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my hang up.
It kind of confused the
Yes,
issue.
that's why I was trying to get clarity on that, because I don't want to get into a situation to 5 years down the road. Benji's brother comes up and says, well, you did it for this man, now you got to do it for me. Because we just changed that ordinance. So we have rules that we need to stick with. That's been one of this county's problems, is we don't stick with things. So if this has nothing to do with, I understand with the family division, but now that's off the table. That was a no, so we're coming in here to do a division of a piece of property.
And then the question is, does it make sense
Yes.
in that location?
That's right.
To do that?
Well, I think it's, okay.
And I guess to me, that's the main.
And staff is saying it does
And
because
staff
it's
and the
consistent
planning
with the
commission is
with
saying-
the others,
Yeah.
and it would
Yeah,
actually
it does.
protect the
In
land.
this-
And you're saying it would actually protect
in
the land
this
better
case,
because it would be larger acreage lots
than
than
next door.
To be clear, there's nothing that says it's 20-acre lots. I think the proposal shows some 4 and 5-acre lots. And then the balance of the property is going to remain
Yeah.
larger.
Well,
Okay.
but
That's
it's
right.
it's larger than, it
But-
still ends up larger than.
They're not gonna be 2
divided up
acres.
2 and 3, okay.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's still the same time.
They would have to be
Well,
at least.
Do
would have to be at
they
least 3.
know that, I know they know. But the industrial park next door, the potential, we don't know what may want to come there. But it could be something that you got noise, smell, lots of
Yeah,
traffic.
right across the
and-
road.
And yes, the dump is 500 yards if it's that far. And they want to build their future there. And then we're opening the door for all these complaints to start 15 years down the road. I mean. But as you said, Todd, we just went through this and got the ordinance in the zonings. And if we don't stick with that, why have them?
Well.
It's a different
I-
deal.
I
They're,
think- I think what-
If we
I
gonna
think
get it to R, instead of R, was it RR3? And go to the R3?
Yeah.
Right, that's what they're asking.
Well, then that's what we gotta do before we go any farther on this, right?
That's all they're asking.
That's all they're asking.
That's all they're
Right.
asking.
Yeah, the family division should have never been.
That,
presented
that
as
is my
right
problem
here.
by throwing
That's-
that
that's
in
right.
there. People will see that and then come, how come you didn't do it for us?
Depends on where it's at.
Well, that's true too. That's very true.
Can I get a couple questions?
Go ahead, boss.
I got one question while you're talking, Austin.
Yep.
Can you explain the proffer, the last proffer that was put on it? So we all understand how that works.
Yeah, so the proffer is that right now it would be divided into
I have.
3 parcels. And then the residue. So we create 3 new parcels and have the residue parcel currently. It does allow for family divisions in the future, but that would be no different than if it did not get rezoned. So that doesn't,
Of the
Yeah,
parent.
once
of
you
the
break-
parent track. Yeah, so if
Yeah,
somebody,
once you break 5
if
years.
somebody 10 years from now buys the residue and then 5 years from then they want to do a family division, they would still be allowed to do that.
Mhm.
That's all that second
But
part.
like those 2 lots you're talking about for the daughters, they're not gonna be able to be, they're too small to be subdivided anyway. There's
Correct.
one of the remaining lots that would even be possible under the existing.
Yeah.
Based on size.
Yep, and that would only be allowed
We
after,
still make-
that would still have to meet the 5-year requirement from ownership and all that.
And it will have to have a easement and a right of way to get into the back part of it.
Yeah, they're gonna do a flag lot on one.
Yep.
What about access to the main track? Does that have road
It's got
frontage?
road
Yeah,
frontage.
the
Yeah.
way it's proposed, it would be it would meet the subdivision requirement. So one would be a flag lot with a 50-foot stem. The others would meet the 350 feet of approved frontage required for divisions.
Big up.
This is all pretty overwhelming for me. I'm still way behind. Y'all understand this better than me. So my first thought is, and I don't even know if it ties in with the comprehensive plan that's about to come out, right?
He said it does.
It does.
It's
Yeah,
consistent.
Okay.
it's in the area. See, my whole hangup was the family division. We're trying to skirt it. Now, if that's cleared, I'm golden.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine to approve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got too
The
much
way-
information.
The
Probably
way it
need
was
much-
worded.
Yeah, the wording.
It's the wording that the right
Wording's
people get it, then we won't have a headache.
They are following the correct process due to that regulation. Understand.
I think it,
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't before, but
Yeah. Todd and I-
I've kind of
The-
realized you take some words out of it.
Yeah.
It's no different than anything
Yeah.
else we do.
Exactly. And it fits into the area.
You voted in favor.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Oh, I didn't.
Sir?
It's not,
Yeah,
a-
it's where it fits.
it's not totally different than everything around there. It
Yeah,
matches in with it.
but I was just scared of the skirting the family,
Yeah.
you know, that we're gonna get bombarded with that again. You know how the real estate
I
agents
did that.
are.
That's the first thing that flashed up in the minute. Whoa, they opening up.
All right, gentlemen,
Go ahead, boss.
we back got all your questions answered. Somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, with acceptance of the proffers. Based, you want to read all the other stuff with it?
Yes.
All right, based on upon the location of the property, nature and extent of the proposed activities of use, the consideration of the possible adverse effects on rezoning, I move to approve the conditional rezoning request from RR3 to R3 and accept the proffers as submitted.
All right. There's a motion on the floor, gentlemen. I'm not gonna repeat that.
Come on.
Any discussion? The only discussion I got, I think this board is gonna stick to their guns if a family cut comes available and tries to
Yeah.
go against what we have in place.
I agree.
But. All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you.
Welcome to Amelia.
Thank you so much.
Do you realize the dog kennel is right across the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the
Don't
daughter's
be
houses are going.
complaining about them barking all the time.
The daughter's houses are gonna be there.
I can't hear you, man.
Yeah.
I live right and for the joint property behind where he's gonna be parked.
Yeah, it's not a required notification, but we get it. Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our next
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next zoning, to sign text amendment ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Board of Supervisors discussed the sign controls at their meeting in November, and then referred to the zoning committee. The zoning committee met, and this code came out of that committee. Currently, this is for signage on a building. Currently, the code says signage on a building is limited to 1 square foot per linear foot of property frontage. This ordinance would change that to say 1 1/2 square foot per linear foot of each building facade, up to a maximum of 150 square feet, provided that a minimum total sign area of 25 square feet is permitted. And this went to public hearing at the planning commission, and the planning commission recommended unanimously to approve the ordinance. Any questions?
Any questions? All right, I'm gonna open the public hearing on this text amendment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against it, please come up. State your name and address. Try to keep it to 3 minutes. I'll close the public hearing. What's the board's pleasure?
It's just going from one square foot to 1.5
Foot and a half.
That's not that big a deal.
I didn't even know we had an ordinance for this, the signs on a building. I knew we had one for the road signs, but
Yeah. I make,
Todd can put a great big sign on his building, doesn't
he does. That's one I shoot at every time I ride by.
It also ties it to the building
he? Yeah,
versus
Yeah,
the property.
right.
yeah,
I guess it came up, there was a situation.
yeah. Were you starting a motion, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to go on and pass this off. I don't have all the wording here. To pass the signage from 1 square foot to 1.5 feet.
Just to approve the ordinance as
The
proposed.
ordinance on it.
Okay. Motion on the floor, gentlemen, to approve the ordinance as presented. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right, it brings us to our torch discussion. Eric, did you have something on this? We've been emailed the changes in the agreement. Yeah, for somebody have.
I'd be happy to, and I think.
Sure.
I don't know if Sam or Brian are here. Sam, there he is. So Torch representatives are here, to answer any questions, but you guys have been through this before. At the end of so this project was approved in 22, for various reasons, beyond the company's control. Its regulatory processes and have been delayed. The approval process has been delayed. So back in 2024, you all extended the permit deadlines by a year. The General Assembly extended the permit deadlines automatically to July of 2025, you remember, and allows localities, the governing bodies, to extend them to 2026 and beyond by resolution. So what's in your packet is a resolution that would extend the start of construction deadline and the completion deadline out 18 months. That complies with the state law, and it would amend both the special exception permit for the project and the siting agreement. The other piece of this has to do with the revenue component that the county receives from the company. And as you can see, it's in your materials. There's a fee for this extension, just like there was for the first one. This one's slightly larger because it's a longer extension. And Torch Solar also agreed to update the annual payments that are under the siting agreement that begin once the project is in commercial operation. So there's annual payments with the inflation escalator of 3.25%. So in addition to the lump payment that you get in July, so the beginning of the next fiscal year, there also is a 10% increase in the initial annual payment stream that results in a significant increase over the life of the project. So that's all laid out in the materials. And the resolution is before you. The resolution does all this. So by approving the resolution, it both extends the permit deadlines and amends the signing agreement payment provision. So all that, it's pretty much what we did at the end of 2024. And I think this is the last time that you would be asked to do this. Again, Sam's here from the company if you like to, if you have questions, or he came all the way from Charlottesville. I don't know if he wants to say anything, but if there's any questions, we can field them, but I think that covers it.
I think it's pretty self-clear. I mean, we've been through it. We got a little more money. That's always good. Helps the citizens out.
Are we getting that up front?
We'll get it in July.
The 225 is in the first month of the fiscal year.
And it's my understanding that when this was done previously, a couple of years ago, this money was deposited into the CIP directly to help with future capital projects, and this would be done as well.
Okay. All right.
You said some of the language on the.
And then the only motion would be to
That's what I would say. I wanted to make sure we read it, did it right.
It's simply, so it's entitled, it's in your packet, the
Yeah,
resolution
got it.
further amending Amelia County Energy. I said towards solar, but the local company is called Amelia
Permit
County.
and then permit 2202.
That's the one. So it would be
I
to
got it.
approve that
I got it.
resolution.
Y'all all right about doing it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not so bad.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I do see a recommended.
Oh,
right
it is
there.
in there?
I'm sorry. It is right there.
Come on.
We got a lot of new paper.
We got a short meeting tonight.
I don't know. I just want to correct, give credit. It was my oversight. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed resolution further amending Amelia County Energy Facility LLC solar facility siting agreement and further extending the SEP use deadline in special exception permit number 22-02.
All right, gentlemen, there is a motion on the floor to approve what Mr. Easter just read. Any more discussion?
Yeah, one thing.
All right.
I know we extended this out, and that's what this is covering. And I know there's been about a lot of problems getting started, if there's problems, but when do you anticipate to actually start?
Yes, sir. So we expect to start construction middle of next year
Middle of next year
of 2027. And for background, the long pole in the tent has been the interconnection agreement. So these projects are studied by PJM, which is, they run the grid on the East Coast. It's 13 different states, it's Dominion, it's different utilities. We have finally been issued our interconnection agreement, which will give us permission to connect to the grid and deliver power. We will be allowed to deliver power late 2028 or early 2029.
That was my second
So
question.
you sync that up with the end of construction. So I won't be back asking for another extension. We're finalizing this interconnection agreement, and we're going to start next year and get this thing up and running at the latest mid 2029. We're hoping 2028.
So you're doing it in phases or sections or whatever, or?
No, sir, this will be it'll be constructed in one phase.
Okay. They had the option originally.
Okay, okay.
110 megawatts.
Yeah, keep coming back.
Coming back, yeah. You can keep coming back. I like it this way.
As long as your pocket's heavy.
We don't like it as much.
Yeah, but I like it.
All right, gentlemen, the motion on the floor.
Be honest. Come on.
All in favor? Raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you, Sam.
Have a good trip back.
All right, Eric, you get to talk a little while.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So a couple things I'll mention. Some of these are in my report, some of them are not. Daryl's crew has been doing an excellent job getting the office renovations complete, and we should be done by the end of the month. This month, if you go in there, you've seen that the lobby is available for the building permit technician, and we're working on moving the DMV up front. We just had the DMV come back and check out the final product of what we built, and everything was good to go on that front, and Austin can comment more on that if you'd like. And so after that, they're gonna be down at the courthouse working on the windows that you guys approved in this year's CIP, along with other renovations down by the courthouse where the old clerk's office was, and then they'll be working at the exhibit building and the treatment plant. So those are the big spring projects for Daryl coming up in the Public Works Department. And it was brought up at the last work session as far as outside agencies and questions about funding. Staff has reached out to all those that had questions and is following up on that. And the last thing I have is financial policies. I was hoping to have them ready tonight. There's a couple formatting things that I'd like to change, and those should be ready by the end of the month, this month, for us to review at a later point here throughout when we get started in the budget process.
Okay,
So that's all I have, unless you'd like for me to read off the waste management fees.
sure. Tell everybody how much we made.
So we collected $163,789.10.
Okay,
What's a year to date?
that's a small.
This month.
Last month.
Oh,
So year to date, we have $1,665,759.80, and the monthly average is $208,219.98.
We had bad weather.
oh, yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
got the dip.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty consistent though with the whole chart here. Nice, fair.
Are there any questions I can answer for the board?
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Sir. Any board members have any comments? Other than what you get ready? You wanna go over your committee reports?
Might as well get them out the way.
I'll go first tonight. I always ask you, I'll go first. Went to the Piedmont Jail Board. We had 47 residents there last month. And our third and fourth quarter, what we pay the jail is gonna be considerably less. They've had some budget savings, so this will give us some savings. I don't have a figure on it, but they said it's gonna be less.
Did you have a breakdown on male to female from the county that's there?
I don't get that involved in.
I just.
I don't, there's a lot of stuff goes on
It
there.
would pay the same thing regardless.
It would pay
right?
the same thing. I mean,
Well, I
they do have,
understand that.
they do have women and men there.
I know that. I've been on tour up there.
I have
Scared-
not.
Scared to death. Todd and I was in there. I thought they were gonna lock us up.
I'm scared I could get stayed in there.
I was picking out a room, free food, cable.
You looking at all the female
Get in
inmates.
there.
I
All
think-
right, yeah, we gonna have a late elevator.
Get free law training.
I went
Come
to-
out as a lawyer. Take
Yeah,
the
so-
spot. Go ahead, sir.
Had a social services meeting. And I had a meeting with the waste management staff. Y'all all got an email that we asked Eric to have a meeting, but it ended up I went to, and I think it was a very productive meeting. So want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Enjoy this warm weather. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Go ahead, Mr. Morris.
Oh, all right. Let's see, you kind of covered the landfill update. Library, we are looking for an interim director. Hopefully we're moving forward on that pretty soon. I plan on having the spring town hall on May the 2nd at 7 o'clock. So if y'all want to come out to that.
PM.
Yes, PM. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so come on out, and you don't have to be from my district. If you're available and you can come on. Again, the tractor parade was awesome. I enjoy it. That's like probably my favorite parade to watch. It's so thank everybody that came out and did that. I'm working on something. This year is the 25th year of 9/11. So I'm meeting with some people tomorrow. So the idea that we might have some type of event coming up to celebrate that. And then I've already got an okay for a location to have something. Maybe we can get the schools and all involved to do something. So that's the very beginning of that. Also, I threw something out the first year I was on the board and I didn't follow through, so I'm gonna throw it out now. There's a lot of other smaller towns around here that do a lot more decorating at Christmas than we do. And if anybody wants to kind of look into that, I wouldn't mind helping with that because I enjoy Christmas and I think we can even like the main drag from Food Line down to the from Goodman's, that road, good with it, Goodman Road. Maybe we can do something on that. Just a thought. If anybody wants to reach out to me and maybe we can jump on that. And it doesn't just have to be Christmas. We can decorate other times of year. And lastly, happy Easter and enjoy your break.
Mr. Jones?
First of all, I would like to thank Royce for taking care of the problem that presented to him. And I hate the paperwork and I misplaced it. The PSR, they give us their monthly how they service the different counties. And I just remembered that Amelia was off on almost, not all, but just about every category compared to last year this time. We were down considerably on some of them. The CRC, but normal, talked about the comp plans and the chickens co-op and everything. And I asked them by the CRC helping us on our comp plan, what was the advantages and the benefits? And they told me that after all expenses were taken out, it saved the county $100,000. So I thought that was pretty good. Thought that was pretty good. And I know some people question why do we own this and own that and all, but that's just one thing that helped us on. So, hey, 100,000 saved is good. And everybody have a good Easter. Be safe if you're traveling and don't eat too many Easter eggs.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think y'all mentioned a lot of really great things. I won't try not to duplicate those, but in addition to the tractor parade, really enjoyed the barn bash afterwards. As a member of the Chamber of Commerce, was like pleased to see that and so many people attending the festival afterwards. The Chamber donated several picnic tables to the county's use at the fairgrounds there for all, not just for fairgrounds, but any use in the future. And then we've got planning well underway for this year's Amelia Day Festival. Thank y'all for approving the permit on that earlier. And want to go ahead and announce tonight a really big addition for this year's Amelia Day is that the festival will be joining the nation in commemorating the 250th anniversary of the United States, which is happening this year. So in addition to all the usual festival activities, we are going to be having live music and fireworks in the evening of Amelia Day. The celebration is being coordinated with Amelia's American Revolution 250th Committee. And we've got fireworks already lined up. The permit's been approved for that in addition to the festival permit, which we worked on tonight. The American Revolution Committee has lined up a military band to be playing there that evening, and then we're going to have live music before that from regular bands in addition to the military band before that as well. So I think it'll be a really big festival this year. I think we have some good sponsors for that, but we're always open to local businesses providing more sponsorship because it is a free event and will continue to be a free event for everybody participating. And if anyone doesn't have that already on their calendar, please mark Saturday, May the 9th. And remember, the following day is Mother's Day, so be prepared for that too.
Todd?
PSR meeting. That's getting better. No CPMT meeting because of weather, and we hadn't been able to get everybody together to have a quorum for that. Budget cycle's coming. I guess let your voice be heard because the state is passing a lot of the expense off to the localities this year across the board. I'm gonna have a town hall. Hopefully we'll have the budget dialed in enough to we can talk about it. It'll be April the 25th at 5 p.m. Manborough Fire Station. And come get you some food. And that's all. I'll have a good Easter. Enjoy spring. Hopefully it'll get here and stay instead of bouncing back and forth. I think we got one more cool day this week, Saturday. But other than that, I think we'll be in good shape. That's it.
All right. We may be just getting busy in the budget, but Mr. Eric has been knee deep in it.
Yeah, well, that's his job. I'm just waiting for him to give it to us.
All right, that being said, we do have a need for a closed session.
Do what?
Might
Oh,
make a
I think
motion.
we do it now.
We'll get,
Hold on.
what?
Give me the piece of paper. Thank you, sir. Let me put my glasses back on. It's been brought to my attention that we should probably suggest a resolution for recognition of 9/11 in August, and it's not a celebration.
Thank you.
Okay,
So I just did.
is that a motion?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay, to a resolution,
Yeah,
okay, that we don't have in front of us,
we don't.
but we all know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying precedent.
My wording's already been banned, so y'all.
Are y'all good
We
with,
ain't doing no celebration.
y'all good with passing something that we don't have in front of us?
Well, no, we
I think
can
we're
wait till
not-
next month.
I think
We can
Stan
get a
was
red
just gonna-
draft to
He's
do
just
it.
he's just making a suggestion.
I thought it was a motion.
He's making a suggestion for staff to work.
Yes.
Okay,
Just
okay,
the
oh,
right-
no, that's fine.
And then just being clear that none of us intended that we're celebrating 9/11,
Yeah.
which we know that Benji did not intend that either. It's honoring the 20th of the occasion
So we-
and all the lives that were.
So we will let staff prepare something for next month.
For August.
August, yeah.
August. Which is when.
It's a ways off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
it's-
got
I don't know,
time.
it'll be here before you know it.
I don't think you need to- I don't think you-
Spring ain't even here yet.
I don't think you need to vote, check this.
No, it's.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a revolution.
All right, Jeff, you got language for us?
Yes.
I
We
thought
need a
had to go
motion.
to- Yeah.
Could be,
you gotta read
could be an enclosed session, so with the Virginia Code section 2.23711A8 for consultation with legal counsel regarding the Amner Library and the Landfill Advisory Committee.
So moved.
All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries, we're now in closed session.
You nailed that, Jeff. Oh.
I need a motion to bring us back in.
But, so, we're rolling?
We use these books.
All right, motion to convene an open session and to certify by roll call vote that the only items discussed were those identified in the motion to convene the closed session as permitted by the Freedom of Information Act. So moved.
Got to certify.
Not certified.
Dex,
Certified.
Todd,
Certified.
Joe,
I certify.
I certify. All right, well, it's one thing, that question I asked you prior,
Yes,
that figure. It says phases 1 and 2, but we get some more revenue when they start construction.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
So-
divided into two.
it's the total. So that line was the total of the
That
two
was the
phases.
total, and I didn't know that they were gonna condense the phases into one. It makes sense. So it's 106 megawatts out of the gates. It was going to be 86 and 20. But it's, but it's gonna be the whole 106 from the beginning. And I forget the breakdown, but a portion of that 1.2 million or whatever will come when they start construction, and then the remainder of that.
I hope they come back and ask for another extension.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, motion to adjourn,
Thank you. So moved.
all in favor? Aye.